What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to give you a quick overview of what the current data points are saying, what's happening with SoFi today, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. Currently, SoFi is down 0.34%. 17.6 million shares have been traded. 52.8 is the average. Today is the last trading day in the quarter. So after hours, you will see a lot of abnormal activity on the secondary market, so institutions will be rebalancing their portfolios. But regardless, a lot of this today is attributed to that kind of rebalancing. And there has been no news today, no SEC filings. There was this that did come out, so a new analyst rating. So as you can kind of see, it came out yesterday. Jefferies, John, who does have a 62% success rating, gave a $12 price target. But once again, that kind of gets brushed under the rug because there still is very clear manipulation happening with SoFi just on the mere fact that it's not able to get above 750. And I feel like it's one of those just things that now people accept, okay, there's manipulation with SoFi. It is what it is, which is very, very unfortunate because in reality, shorts are dictating almost every move that does happen. So I'll give you a quick overview of everything right now. So at the time of doing this video, it is 12:40 kind of central. At that time, shorts are returning 874,000 shares. 20.61% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 202.15 million shares overall are being shorted. And then cost of borrow average is 1.29%. Then utilization on a side note is 74.99. But just looking at the intraday on what they've been doing, straight out the gate, as soon as the market did open, they are returning a ton of shares. So of course, that really aided in this spike alongside just institutions kind of increasing their position. But beside the point though, it's interesting to see that they started to increase slightly, roughly about 500 some odd shares, or 500,000 shares of course, and that was this. So they just minorly just sell a lot at once, and that instantly causes a sell-off. And then obviously at the same time, SoFi was bouncing off of a very strong resistance point, but it kind of shows that big money just does not want SoFi to be above 750. They want it to be controlled, and it's, again, I know I said this over the last couple of videos, it is very unfortunate because you see a lot of people just saying with Robinhood's event that did happen, a lot of people are comparing SoFi and Hood. And surprisingly, a lot of people are favoring Hood because, well, in essence, they are getting the job done. I like to just say it like that, like they're getting the damn job done, where SoFi has manipulation. Just to give you a quick overview and comparison, so SoFi, like I said, is 20.61%. So pulling up Hood, so good old Robinhood, so their short interest right now is 5.63%. Again, there are certain levels of risk maybe behind the scenes with SoFi, dependent on what happens on a larger scale within the economy, but still, to have that big of a deviation on short interest is just crazy. So right now I feel like a lot of people as well are just getting discouraged with SoFi and moving maybe to Robinhood or something else, because there is a lot of other fintech stocks that are running and have been running, one of which I do bring up on my channel, and that is PayPal. So a lot of fintechs have been running, just SoFi is kind of being left in the dust. When it comes down to options though, a lot of money getting in today, 2.74 million in calls, 1.01 million in puts. Sentiment wise, 50% of all the options being done today are optimistic, and of those call options, there's a consensus for it to be above 750 by the end of next week. And then looking at puts, there's a consensus for it to be sub 750. So somewhat evenly divided on that. And right now, just to give you a quick overview, there's 26,000 in open interest at that 750. So no doubtably, big money just will not want SoFi to close above 750 today. And so when it came down to SoFi bouncing off of this very strong resistance at 747, as I've been saying time and time again, they took the opportunity just to kind of push SoFi a little bit lower. They didn't want it to get anywhere close to 750, but again, people just seem to be accepting, saying, hey, you know what, this is manipulation. What can we do? And it's very unfortunate, and hopefully Anthony Noto would come out eventually and just say, hey, you know what, fuck the shorts. Especially Palantir CEO did that, right? Like, he called them saying that they snort coke, like with zero liability coming back to him. Anthony can come out and be like, hey, look at this. And plus, Anthony has bigger events, right? They have SoFi Stadium. Like, they can just do like a fuck short event and just have a big kind of party. Guaranteed there'd be a lot of other people other than SoFi that would participate. And of course, that kind of sounds crazy thinking it out loud, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, SoFi has a lot more opportunities to kind of fight against naked shorting, but they're not, and thus in turn is just getting manipulated. So it is unfortunate, and this is why you do see the sentiment a little bit lower. But right now, looking on the actual chart, I'll give you a quick overview of that. It is lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. It did attempt to transition into the higher, but like I said, it kind of bounced off of that resistance point. So hopefully going into next week, you will see more of a consolidation and then reattempt at that. But there is a lot of resistance levels right above that, so that 50 and 100-day moving average, as well as that central Bollinger Band. Number of retail investors appear to be getting out over this last little bit, ever since it looks like the 25th. And then looking at stochastic, no defined trend, but it is at 43, so it's somewhat neutral, not overbought, not oversold. So all in all, just to give you a quick overview in case I did confuse you on everything, technicals are still somewhat optimistic, but more leaning to neutral. Looking at shorts though, they're just really screwing the pooch, so they've been really dictating and using SoFi as a puppet, and most likely after hours you will see a lot of activity regarding institutions, and that would be rebalancing their portfolios. So with that said, maybe that might be the green light that the market makers will give for it to go up going into next week, because you don't see those very strong walls of resistance. So in theory, over the next couple of weeks, maybe SoFi could be trending up. Of course, there's a lot of data points coming out that could disrupt that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with SoFi? And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.